Hi all you funksters, and welcome to the very first installment of what I like to call Wife Rep Exalted. This is a series from the perspective of a married man, a father, and a gamer, and how to balance these responsibilities without having to set up your gaming rig in the doghouse. First off, I should say that I've been married for 10 years, and I've been a fairly hardcore gamer during our entire relationship. Well, you might ask yourself, how do you do this, Funky? I'm here to give you several tips on how to stay married and gaming. So, the most important thing is to prioritize properly. Make sure that you're getting offline when the family comes home, when it's family time. As long as you continually put family first over gaming, and your spouse or whoever is able to see that, you'll be ahead of the game one way or the other. Do your daily quests for rep. Unlike most games, when you get your reputation to Exalted, the highest level, it stays there forever, and you don't have to keep doing things to keep it up. That's not the case in real life. My wife rep drops down to Revered all the time, and I have to do all sorts of various things in order to bring that reputation back up to Exalted, which is the position I needed to be in when I'm negotiating about gaming. So in future videos, we're going to talk about all the different strategies I have on those daily quests, which ones give you the best rewards, and how to go about keeping your wife rep at Exalted and still getting some gaming in throughout the day as well. Never put the game priorities above the family. This is very important. Essentially, you need to make sure that your family feels that they are more important than the game. You may feel that way all the time, but they may not. And it's important to make that distinction. Sometimes we get caught up in what we're doing, and we forget to make the people around us feel important to them, or to you, one way or the other. It's also very important to stay grounded in reality, as it were. Stay pleasant, even when in-game stuff is causing you stress. So, I mean, anytime you get more than 5 people together, you get politics, you get people doing things to each other that they don't like, maybe someone ninja looted something, maybe that immature person in your raid group said something that made one of your good players leave the group. Whatever it is that's stressing you out in-game, don't let that emotion bleed into the rest of your home life. Don't go complaining to your wife about that person that did that thing that you don't like. Or, sorry, not just your wife. I'm sure there's lots of female gamers out there that need to balance this with their husbands. But generally, I think husbands are a lot more tolerant of gaming wives than wives are of gaming husbands. Also very important that you know your role and you own it. Now, in World of Warcraft, I am a paladin that plays all 3 roles in my mythic raiding group. We play 2 nights a week, 3 hours per session, and that's my scheduled raid time. I know my role in the group, and most of the time it's damage, but on certain fights they need me to tank, and on other fights they need me to back up the healers and heal. But what I'm talking about when I say know your role and own it is within the household. As the spouse, as the father, as the person that does certain things around the house, you need to know that role and own it. So whether you're shoveling the snow, whether you're getting up early in the morning to get the kid fed and dressed, to take that stress off of your spouse before they have to leave the house, whether you're thinking about making dinner throughout the day and taking care of that one way or the other. Are you the person that's handy around the house, that fixes doors and does other various like small tasks throughout the week that don't necessarily cost money but make a huge ease of life difference for your family? So know your role and own it. Very important. It's also really important to know your raid schedule and to carefully negotiate that time. So for myself, in my household, my wife, she has choir Wednesday nights. So Wednesday night is an ideal raid night for me. And when I'm looking for a new raid team, or if for some reason we're having to change what nights that we raid on, Wednesday night is ideal for me because that's time that she's already away. that I'm not having to negotiate game time for. And any time that it's not like that, where you're having to negotiate time away from them for the video game, be very careful about how you negotiate that time. Make sure that they're already at Exalted Rep, as it were, that there are no other outlying issues or things that need to be discussed before you're bringing up your priority of playing video games, right? And make sure that when you're negotiating for that time, that you're in a way sacrificing something else in order to have that time. So whether you're in part of your negotiation, it's that, well, I'll put the kid to sleep on these nights and these nights, and you can put the kid to sleep on the nights that I'm raiding. Now, in my household, we trade off every other night, putting my, I've got a 3-year-old, so putting the kid to sleep. And sometimes that happens to fall on a raid night. Now, most nights I'm 10-15 minutes early for raid, but if I know I'm putting the kid to sleep that night and I can tell that she's wound up or whatever, I make a point of letting my raid leader know that I might be 5 to 10 minutes late. Now, if you're in a good group, most of the time they're going to be very tolerant of that. They'd rather have an adult, mature raider that knows their stuff, that might be 5 minutes late every once in a while, than someone that shows up all the time for a month and then bails. It's a give and take, right? In a way, you're negotiating with your raid leader for time to put your family first. And a good raid leader will understand that an adult always needs to put their family first. And those are the people that are going to be able to play more consistently, because they're not going to have an in the rest of their lives explosion or implosion that prevents them from showing up to raids 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road, whatever it is. As long as you keep that balance, you're going to be able to keep gaming. And I know this because I've been doing it for more than 10 years, right? And as I said, make sure your raid leader knows, you know what, tonight's my night for putting the kid to sleep. She seems like she's a little bit wound up tonight. I'm sorry guys, it might be 5 to 10 minutes late. I'll be ready for the raid otherwise. If you need to pull without me, I understand. Most of the time, if you've got a good group, they'll understand. So those are my very basic tips and overarching ideas to how to balance being a husband, a dad, and a hardcore gamer, meeting your raid schedules, keeping your wife happy, and keeping your household in order one way or the other. I really hope you found this video helpful, and that you're also able to complete the epic world quest of marriage and still do your in-game questing. Please like and subscribe, and if you have thoughts, questions, or concerns, hit me up in the comments section below. Happy to answer them. Thanks so much for watching, Funksters, and funk on.